Just to reiterate, the results coming in, projection that Trump has won West Virginia.
And no real surprise there on that one. No flips so far that we weren't expecting. Trump there sitting on 23 Electoral College votes so far. Kamala Harris on 3. But, of course, it's very, very, very early days.
Yep.
And those numbers have got to crank up a lot more before either side start to get worried.
The magic number is 270. That's what we're looking for tonight, 270. So a long way to go. But you won't miss a thing here on GB News. We're here with you until 6 o'clock in the morning.
Right, let's talk to former aide to President Trump, Seb Gorka, who's, you've got the hat, you've got the hat on, Seb. You've got the MAGA hat all ready to go. What do you make of what we've seen so far?
I don't know where you found that prior guest. That was really quite hilarious. Quoting Lockean principles of liberalism to describe the Harris-Biden regime that puts people in prison for political purposes, like my White House colleagues, Steve Bannon and Peter Navarro. That was quite a stand-up act you had there. So, yeah, the party that told us it was about joy and vibes has said that President Trump is going to put you in prison if you're a Democrat. These people are out of control. They are the threat to democracy. 20 million illegals let into this country in the last 4 years. America's not going to survive if Kamala Harris maintains her place in the White House and is promoted from vice president to president. It's time to save the nation. As we said back in the 1970s and 80s, a time for choosing is upon us.
What do you make of Trump in the past few days? I mean, he was losing his voice, wasn't he, at those rallies? I mean, he was dancing until 2 o'clock in the morning, to be fair. But speaking to the press today with Melania alongside him when he went to vote, he did say this would be his last election. And it's incredible, isn't it, when you look back to Biden and Biden being Sleepy Joe and the older candidate. We are seeing Trump actually struggling a little bit with momentum and perhaps showing his age.
Hardly. Absolutely not the case. He did 4 rallies yesterday, finishing his last one at 2:30 in the morning. I am in West Palm Beach right now, where he landed in his Trump Force jet at 4:30 in the morning. He has done over 230 campaign events. He sat down without a potty break for 3 hours with Joe Rogan as Kamala Harris is in hiding. Kamala Harris's last rally, she spent 16 minutes on stage. I'm 25 years younger than my former boss. If I had a quarter of his energy, I would be a very grateful man. I do not know how he does it. The gene pool of the German, Scottish, Irish combination is unstoppable. This man is like a truck. He's like a freight train. He is unstoppable because he has one mission: to save America from those who are dismantling it as we speak.
What about the argument? And I heard this when I was heading in tonight from someone who actually sort of traditionally a Republican voter, but said, well, they've not been able to vote for Trump this time round because they don't like where things have gone in terms of the personality politics, the very, very negative campaigning, the name-calling in all of this. And that's really turned them off.
Well, they're children. That person is a child. That they should be stripped of their rights to vote. Let's talk about facts. When we were in the White House, the average mortgage payment in America was $800 a month. Under the Harris-Biden regime, it has ballooned to $1,800. The most valuable thing you own, the cost of maintaining it has doubled. I think of the fact that Jocelyn Nungare, a 12-year-old beautiful girl, was raped with her ankles and her wrists tied together by 2 illegals from Venezuela, let into America by Kamala Harris, then strangled and thrown in a ditch. So if your friend has problems with mean tweets, he is a child, and he should have no say in the future of America, because we care to prevent the next 12-year-old girl being raped and murdered. We want people to actually be able to afford their homes and not to have cities like New York taken over by illegals. There are 57 hotels in New York where you can't get a room right now because they are full of illegals being kept there on the taxpayer dime. That is an abomination, and that's why we have to win tonight.
We know that immigration is a top issue. The economy is as well. And Barack Obama, speaking at a rally this week, debunked, if you like, Donald Trump's claim that the economy was strong under him because it was Trumponomics. He says it was actually Trump benefiting from his economy. He just took credit for his hard work. He just rode that wave. What do you have to say about that?
He is such an arrogant individual. This is the man who said during the election campaign, "Oh, what does Trump have? A magic wand? Those jobs are never coming back." Well, it's strange they came back when President Trump was in the White House. So the man who said the economy will never recover and working class Americans will never have jobs again that have been outsourced to China and Mexico, that arrogant, lazy person in his multiple mansions in Hawaii, in Washington, D.C., that individual is the reason we got President Trump, because we needed a businessman who was going to save the economy, and he did. When he was in office, the U.S. economy wasn't the biggest we ever saw. It was the biggest economy the world has ever seen because of Donald J. Trump, and not the man who said, "You're gonna need a magic wand to bring those jobs back."
All right, Seb Gorka, we'll leave it there, but good to see you. Thank you very much indeed. Right, our panel, as you know, Republican Overseas UK spokesperson Jennifer Ewing, Labour activist Susie Stride, who was out campaigning for Kamala Harris, and the political journalist Theo Usherwood. Susie, after listening to Seb, I've got to throw this to you to begin with. A man who's very angry, it would seem, about everything the Democrats have been saying and doing over the past few weeks.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be honest with you, I kind of switched off from what he was saying. He just seemed slightly mad and a little bit angry. And I was quite interested to see that Tom Hanks is supporting Kamala Harris. And I know people are saying, oh, the celebrities don't matter. I think they do. I mean, look, I'm not American. Have I got any right to speak to them? No, I don't. But I think, and it's interesting, William Hague here saying he's positively dangerous, Donald Trump, you know, and then Michelle Obama saying, you know, can you have someone, a weak man who threatens people, who criticises him, is not fit to be our commander-in-chief. I think she sums it up well. That thing, I saw him being interviewed on the news, not him, sorry, one of his staff members, and she said something and he came back and he was so threatening, and I just thought, you know, that kind of behaviour, it's not acceptable, you know, and so I kind of switched off halfway through what he was saying, because he just sounded a bit like a dysfunctional teenager. Sorry to say that, because I don't like to be impolite or disrespectful. But, yeah, so what have I got to say about that? Yeah, I just hope very badly that Kamala wins.
I mean,